We have the MP for Bimbilla, Dominic Nitiwul. Honorable, you're welcome to Sunday Breakfast on ChannelOne TV.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning
to your listeners. Yes.
Good morning to you too. The people, except that the people of Dangbe and Bimbilla are facing water crisis, water issues, and I'm sure you know about this.
So, the issues of the water crisis in that area has been a long-standing problem. Until we came to office in 2017, when I decided that we'll tackle this water crisis head-on. It had always been a very big perennial problem, especially in the dry season, because at that time, the primary source of water was the river, the dam that was constructed in the 70s. So I decided first, as a short-term measure, to construct borehole that I did mechanize myself directly for the people. And so I gave what we call electoral areas, where we have an assemblyman. Every electoral area, I gave them a borehole, and then I didn't mechanize it. I put a poly tank, mechanized it for them, and so they were using that. Then I decided to talk to community water, because Bimbila water system, which they used to pull the water from the Wampu River, was under the community water system. So I went to talk to them. We pushed, and finally they awarded that contract. They actually completed that contract shortly before the elections, where they had to drill boreholes at Wampu and connected the water. And so largely, about 80 to 90% of the people don't drink water directly from the Wampu dam again. They all drink from the community, enhanced community water supply that they give them. For Dangbe itself, Dangbe is just a community very close to the Wampu dam. I did same for them. I also gave them a borehole, and then I mechanized that borehole. If maybe for some reason that borehole is having problems or it's fault, I will try and go and fix it back. Otherwise, I did that for all of them. So Dangbe should not be having real water problems, same as Bimbila currently. Hardly does anybody this time drink directly from the Wapu dam. No. They all use the new water system that has been created, including the boreholes that I give them, which are still working anyway. So that is what I know about the area. But you're going to find, if you move to the area, you will find a lot of cars moving there, because people who are doing construction and a lot of other people who are using it for other purposes other than drinking still go there to fetch water. So I know that for a fact. But the majority of the people in town now don't drink directly from the water of the Wampu Dam. That's the one you are talking. It's not called Dangbe. There's a town called Dangbe. The community called Dangbe, but it's called Wampu Dam. Majority of the people don't drink the water from there any longer. I did fix that problem before we left office.
Right.
And you can verify from anybody, and they will tell you that's what I did. Like I said, in the short term, I did that. And when I was doing that, it was not actually, I didn't use government funding to do the boreholes. I actually used my own funds. I actually used my own funds. It wasn't government. I never used one peso of government to construct a single borehole. All of them, I constructed them using my own funds. I just had to raise funds, drilled 12 boreholes in town, and I think I mechanized about 11 of them. And then that's what they were all using. But then I had to talk to Ghana Water, Ghana Water, Community Water,
right,
for them to come and then do it permanently. And so Community Water came, expanded the system, and that's what they are currently using.
Honorable, our correspondent says that there's a Bimbila water treatment plant that has been destroyed. I'm sure you know about this. Are there any processes in place to fix that water treatment plant?
Yes. So once that has been done, I will, you know very well that now my party is not in power. So once the Bimbila plant has a problem, I will liaise with the current DC to find out exactly what the problem is, and then get the community water to come and work on it. Because, like I said, the community water are those that did that project. And it's not just that. They also built another borehole on the patrol route, and they've been using it. So if the water system has run down, which I'm not aware of currently, because in this system that has been put in place, I'll find out from community water what it is. Because you know my job. My job is to advocate and make sure that the right thing is done. So while my attention is, I'm actually on the way to Bimbila. That's why I told you that. So that's the first thing I'll find out. I'll go to the dam itself now.
Okay.
By 10 o'clock, I'll be in Bimbila, or 10:30, I'll be in Bimbila. I'll go to the dam myself, have a look at it, go to the communities, because there's a big seminar that I'm attending. I'll find out from the people. Once there is any problem, I'll try and make sure that it's fixed.
Interesting. Honorable, thank you so much for your time this morning. With the Bimbila water issue, right, we know that community water deals with areas where the population is about 5,000 to 7,000, right, where Ghana Water Company comes in when the numbers are huge. Now, we know of the population boom in Bimbila, where you're a member of parliament for. Would you not rather have Ghana Water Company take over the water distribution in the area so as to get more homes connected in terms of water delivery?
So when we were in power, there was Engineer Clifford, who was the managing director of the Ghana Water Company. Privately, I discussed with him, he agreed. Then we actually made an application. They came to assess it, and they took up steps to ensure that that is done. Currently, I don't know. Ever since there's a change of government, I really don't know whether this new administration has decided to follow suit. Because at the end of the day, every administration has its priority. But I know that we took it up. We did applications to the Bimbila and Salaga. We took up the two together to make sure that Bimbila town and Salaga town were being added to the Ghana Water Company. In fact, we were even going beyond that. We wanted the situation whereby we could actually pull water from the river at Makango, which is called the Water River, at the area, and pull it right through Salaga to Bimbila and back to Pandai. And that project, I know that the feasibility studies was done, everything was also done on that particular project. That was a $200 million project. I know that for a fact. But at a point, because we entered into IMF, that project stalled. Like I said, I don't know whether the current government still have the same zeal that we've had to push the town to not community water, but now to Ghana Water.
Interesting.
So, like I said, that process has started. And so, and you are right. I don't think that Bimbila should remain with Ghana Water and community water.
Yeah.
It's much bigger than. It's an urban area now. It used to be a district. I got it elevated to municipality, and for that matter, we need to make sure that we can push it to Ghana Water. And I know, and I said, you can find out from the Ghana Water people that the process had started, but it's just that we couldn't complete it before we left office.
Interesting. Thank you for your time. But Honorable, before you take leave of us, right? We'll be following on, your work to try and get Ghana Water to, help with the situation. But there's a seeming crisis at hand, right? Because when you go to the Bimbila SHS, students there are suffering. They are saying that, their education has to come to a halt because they don't have water to, use in their school. Is there any stopgap measure you'd be embarking on to address this concern?
Bimbila SHS matter, it's a different kettle of fish. Even with the water, they still have a problem. In fact, I think 2 boreholes, but we couldn't get water. I'll check again. to see whether that will be done. Like I said, I'm on the way to the constituency. I remember that, yes, we tried to do some boreholes to see whether we could get water, but it wasn't possible for us. They've had that problem for some time. And we tried to see what we could do to fix it. And we wanted to get a reservoir in the area using the community water system, but it looks like it didn't materialize.
Okay.
But like you said, I'll follow up personally to ensure that problem is resolved for them. Because look, at the end, these are kids who may not necessarily be from the area. So their situation is a bit different because it's just the Bimbilla, the SSS, and then the training college. If we don't find out providing them water, we're just going to have problems with them. So I'll look at it and then try and see what we can do to resolve.
Interesting.
To resolve that matter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right now my funds are limited, not like before. So,
why? Yeah. Before your funds were a lot.
Remember that.
You're also defense minister. So are you saying that?
I'm coming. Remember, I was a defense minister.
Yes.
I could call any colleague of mine and say, you know something, my place has this problem, that problem, and then maybe the minister for water resources, waste and housing will immediately try to see what he can do to resolve it.
Yeah.
Defense, maybe if there are some projects that the military, the engineers have, I can ask them, oh, can you see my area? I'm your minister, can you see how I can help my area? Like, those kind of little favors.
Yeah.
That they will give you whilst you are in government. But those things obviously have dried up.
So because you're a defense minister now, it's difficult to get people to address some of these issues you are raising.
All I'm saying that those advantages have dried up. They are not there. They are non-existent. So it is not like, if I want to do, I still have to go to somebody and talk to that person and just hope that person would understand the point I am making. That the people need that. It's different from when you are in charge. Because that one, you make the decisions. So it's a different kettle of fish. But today, somebody else is the person making the decisions. And when you go to the person can decide, well, I will help or I will not help. It's always like that. But it's normal, you know. Once the people of Ghana have decided that you should sit at the background and let somebody else also try his luck and see what the person can do, you can't argue. You just have to help the person, pray for the person, and see what the person can do for Mother Ghana. So that's where we are today.
Honorable, one final question before I take leave of us. We also know that your area is a cocoa growing area. You have cocoa farmers there. There's an ongoing, issue for farmers with regards to payment for them from government. As a minority member and as a representative in the cocoa growing area, are you concerned that your farmers have not been paid and we are being told this is causing some kind of hardship for them? What are your responses to this?
So first of all, I'm not going to speak as if I have farmers in the area who are benefiting from the current system where they are growing cocoa. One or two farmers are growing cocoa in a community called Jamfor in my constituency. And everybody is surprised that in the north, but yes, they did grow some cocoa in a community called Jamfor, and the cocoa has done very, very well. So over the next 1 or 2 years, my intention is to support that farmer and other farmers who will expand, and I believe that something good will come out of it. So that's a different kettle of fish. But now let's come. I'm a member of the Agri Committee in Parliament. And so I have some information. I just think it's very unfortunate, terribly unfortunate, and government has to resolve that problem very, very quickly. But I know that government is having difficulties because, one, the strength of the CD is giving the government problems. But once the cocoa prices have come down, worldwide market prices have come down, and the CD is also gaining some bit of strength relative to the weakness of the dollar all over the world. The dollar is coming down all over the world. So currencies like Ghana, CD, Nigerian Naira, they are all becoming stronger and stronger. And so government is not able to get a lot of CDs as they would have been getting to give to the farmers. But more importantly, is the decision by government. Cocoa usually is sold by what we call forward sales. When you are a new government and you decide that you get higher prices, so you no more do forward sales, and the prices fall, the hedging that this government did and refused to sell the cocoa is the problem that we're having today. So that decision alone has caused us a big problem. If they had sold cocoa at the price that we all had agreed last year, the 2025-2026 season, last banner, we don't have that problem. But because they said, well, just like gold was rising, they expected cocoa to rise, and they started not to sell. And that's where we are having the problem today. Government has to build COCOBOD out. I expect the finance minister to build COCOBOD out. It is a promise made by government to the farmers.
Does government have the fiscal space to build, COCOBOD and to support the farmers?
Look at the expenditure of this government on the things they should not spend on. All right? The sort of things they should not spend on and they are spending money on. I think that they have a lot of resources. It's about priorities. It's about you deciding that, well, I won't spend the money here, I want to spend on cocoa farming. If I'm not spending on cocoa farming, they don't want to spend, that's all.
All right.
Not because there's no money.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
If they are not spending on cocoa farmers, they've decided that that is not a priority to them, full stop. But you say that there's no money, it's not true. I am in government, I'm a part of government because parliament is part of government. I know that there's money to do it. It's as simple as that.
Interesting. Thank you so much for your time. But before you take leave of us, as a former defense minister, there are issues around the name change for Kotoka. Estimatedly, it's reported that it would cost us about $6 million. You are a former defense minister. What's your position on this? Considering the airport is a security installation.
I'm waiting, first of all, I'm waiting for government to tell us what exactly is the reason why they want to change the name. When the government tells us the reason, for example, if the government were to say, well, because you did a coup, then in that case, all coup makers should not have anything named after them. Every coup maker, whether you succeeded or you didn't succeed, should not have anything named after you. And all the coup makers, beginning from Kotoka, who led the first coup, till the last person who didn't succeed. Jiwa was the last person, at least Jiwa was the last, Corporal Jiwa was the last person who didn't succeed in 83 or 84. All coup makers should not have anything named after them, if that is what we want to do as a country. And we all support that decision. If there is another reason why government is doing that, they should let us know. Because even the NDCs, I've told you, the NDCs themselves, that they themselves, even the NDCs came out of a coup, people who did coup. And so if you decide to say that you change every name, even the NDCs, they will have to look at their own name. But we haven't gotten there yet. I want to know exactly what the reason of government is. So it's not about the military. Kotoka, for example, the name that was given to the airport was not because he did a coup against Kwankuma. No, not at all. Kotoka was actually leading a group of people to stop a counter coup, to stop a coup. And he fell, and he fell there. That's why they named it after. It was because they were countering another coup, and then he fell there. That's why they gave that name.
We'll get to you in studio so we can talk more about these issues. But thank you so much for your time this morning, helping us through a conversation around the water crisis in Dangbe. We'll be following on that very keenly.